Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another beautiful session with Building Bridges. Good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Good evening. I hope you're doing great. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to a new season for some of us. Welcome to a new time, a time of new beginnings for some people. And for some people, it's a time to harvest. So you're welcome wherever you're watching me from. Please make sure to put in your comments. You could be watching me from any location, or whether you're watching from YouTube, please make sure to write in the comments. If you're watching from Cameroon, you're watching from wherever, please make sure to comment. So I was just having a guest there as usual. I was just saying, wherever you're watching me from, make sure you comment. Today is going to be an amazing night. I'll be sharing with you some key things I have learned in 2023. And I hope you would be able to get something out of it today. And more so, it's going to be for me a day of celebration, a day of gratitude, a day when I say thank you, God, for all the things I have learned, for all the people that have come into my life, and for all the people that have left as well, because sometimes we all need a little bit of a balance. So tonight is going to be a dance night. Make sure to have your dancing shoes on because it's going to be hot, hot, hot. And in case you want to join me on stage and share your learnings, please make sure to drop a comment and I'll be able to send you the link so that you can join me. Okay, now we're going to start with our first very hot music of the night. You can hear um my song. Can do you have any sound? Do you have any sound yet? Is anyone listening? Is anyone watching me? If you have any sound, please let me know. Can you hear the sound? Can you hear the music? If you can, please do leave a comment. Today is a day of gratitude. It's a new year, it's a new season, it's a new time, a time of new beginnings, a time when we start afresh, a time when we reflect and try to repurpose all of our learnings. So if you can hear this song and you want to join me, make sure to join me at the end of this thanks, at the end of this gratitude music. I'm going to be sharing with you some key learnings I got throughout this year. So enjoy this song with me. So I get some comments from YouTube that they can't hear me. Can people on Facebook hear me? Can the people on Facebook hear me by any chance? I think I might just log into Facebook myself. If those watching from Facebook, if you can just leave a comment to tell me if you can hear me, I'll be delighted. Okay, so I think it's sorted. It could be um, from the person watching on YouTube. So I'm going to continue with the song we were listening, which is Nara by Tim Godfrey and Travis Green. Oh, you can't hear the song. Oh my god, I'm not enjoying the song by myself. Can the people on Facebook hear the song by any chance? Okay. Can anyone on Facebook hear the song by any chance? I can see a few people, I just don't want to call names, but can anyone hear me from Facebook? Okay, I'll just play. I'll keep on with the song and hopefully. Okay, I think my okay. So I'll stop the music for now. I might have to revisit my technical skills. So the aim for this evening really was to play some songs, which I think I'll have to do that maybe by the end. Hopefully, you'll be able to get me at that time. So I intended to play some songs of gratitude, some songs of worship, just to thank God for this day, just to thank God for making it possible for us, because I know loads of my friends, loads of my relatives, my family members are alive today by the grace of God. And I just wanted to say thank you to God for making it possible for us to see this new year, and also to share with you some key learnings. And I'll start with the very first thing that I learned. The first thing I learned was gratitude. That's why I decided to start this evening with a song of gratitude. Gratitude is something that is very important. Most times we neglect saying thank you, or we neglect saying sorry. Sorry is also gratitude, because sleeping at night every day and waking up for us is not guaranteed. We all know someone who went to bed and didn't wake up. Some people do take sleeping pills to go to sleep. So we have the privilege, and we have God's grace, that every day we can go to sleep without actually taking a pill, and wake up the next day strong and healthy to continue whatever it is that our mission for that day is. I'll try to play music on my phone. Hopefully, you'll be able to get it this time. Yeah, so the first thing, like I said, for me was gratitude. Gratitude is very, very important. Sometimes we complain about everything, but we don't see how blessed we are. We don't see the opportunities that we have on a daily basis, just because we want to focus on the fact that we don't have everything that we want. So in the song I was listening by Travis Green and Tim Godfrey, he's thanking God for the fact that he is able to see this day. He says Nare Kelemo. He's thanking God that even if he had 10,000 tongues, he won't be able to say thank you. Just imagine the number of people that weren't able to see this day but were alive yesterday. So it is an opportunity every day. It's a renewed opportunity for us to say thank you, to say thank you to God, to say thank you to those that we share our home with, to say thank you for the air we breathe, to say thank you for the food we have, to say thank you for the water that we drink, and most especially for the people that we share our lives with. So gratitude was the first thing that I learned during this year. The second thing that I learned that I think I should share with you was to let go. We focus so much on looking at what maybe someone did that hurt us, without actually thinking of what are those things that they actually did very well, or what are those things that they did that we can remember them for, rather than what they did that upset us. So I learned during this year that letting go is important, not just for me, because when I stay with that grudge against this person has moved on, but I stay with unforgiveness in my heart. I am sad. I stay in a position where I am suffering, but this person has actually moved on. In your relationship, what are those things that you need to let go? Maybe your partner, your wife, your husband is doing something which you really do not like. Is it a time for you to sit down and have a discussion about it, to know exactly why they're acting that way, or to tell them how you're feeling? Because it's very important. Unless someone knows how you're feeling, then they won't know that what they're doing is actually hurting you so bad. So it's very important that we are able to tell people how we feel, and we let go when we can't. Like, there are just some situations that you can't control, then you need to let go.
The number of people.
You need to let go, because holding on doesn't help you in any way. So letting go is one key lesson that I've learned this year. All those people that are bringing low energy, negative energy, gossips, and they're always just about talking about what isn't fruitful. It's time to let go. It's time to move on, because we currently live in a very fast-paced world. And if you're not trying to meet up with the pace, then you'll be left behind. Another lesson which I learned and which I want to share with you is a lesson I learned from my son. I learned this lesson from him on the day that we actually wanted to bake. He wanted me to make some peanut butter cookies for him, and so I decided to do that with him. But when I went into my cupboard, I realized that I didn't have all the ingredients figured out. So I told him the first thing that we didn't have peanut butter. We had flour, we had sugar, we had all the other ingredients, but we didn't have peanut butter. So my son told me this: Mommy, we have peanuts. I can see peanuts in the cupboard, and we also have butter in the fridge. Can we use that to make peanut butter? What lessons did I learn from this? I learned that sometimes in life we focus on getting everything figured out. We want to have everything before we set out to achieve or to engage in certain things. But is that really what we need? There are sometimes we just need to do with what we have. You don't have to have everything figured out, or you don't have to have everything set out the way it is supposed to be. What I actually learned was sometimes I need to be able to substitute. What can I substitute in this current situation I am facing? What can I actually substitute this with? So instead of the peanut butter in the case of the baking with my son, what could I substitute the peanut butter with? Or if you're going through a life challenge, rather than keep focusing on that challenge, what can you substitute your thoughts with? What other productive thing can you be doing rather than keep thinking about the fact that you're hurting? What can you replace? Instead of peanut butters, what could we have replaced the peanut butter with? So that was one of the other lessons that I learned um, in 2023. That sometimes we need to look at other substitutes. We need to look at other things that we can replace, rather than focusing on those things that we do not have or that we can't control. Then the fourth lesson that I learned was not to give up. No matter how hard the circumstances might be, or no matter what the obstacles are, staying focused is very important, because the end of the road, you never know what you'll get there. And I was also watching a video a few days ago which I think really kind of explains this very much. It was a group of people that went on a skiing trip, and this lady, she decided to go to ski down the mountain first. But she didn't decide to go down the mountain first because she was the best. She wanted to give it a go because she actually went on that trip to learn how to ski. So she decided to go down, and as she was going down, fear gripped her. But because she was so scared, she tried to look for an obstacle that she could hold on to that would make her stop. But she couldn't find an obstacle. So she kept going until she reached the finish line. And she came out first of that race. But she didn't do that because she didn't plan to be first. She did it out of fear. There are certain things in life that we will do out of fear, and they'll be very, very successful. There are sometimes that we are so scared, but we have to keep going, we have to keep pushing. There are some times that we don't have everything figured out, but we need to take that first step. She took that first step and she became the winner. So what are those things in your life that you're so scared of engaging because you're scared that you would lose, or you're scared of the obstacles that you meet on your way? In her case, she met no obstacle, but for her it was a great thing, because that obstacle was meant to stop her, and not meant to pursue her to keep going. Some obstacles will come in our lives, but those obstacles shouldn't define us. Those obstacles should be there to protrude us to go further, to keep going. So the fifth um, lesson that I learned was to learn how to say sorry. Sometimes it can be very hard. It can be very, very hard for us to say sorry. No matter how much we know um, that we are wrong, we don't want to say sorry. But we forget how much or how important sorry can be. Sorry can make and break things. So I learned how to sometimes be humble, and rather than argue or say that I am at the right, it's just important to say that I am sorry. So I'll try one more time if we can get one song here. Hopefully, it's going to be okay this time around. And if not, then we'll just continue till the end. Unfortunately, I need to go back to school to improve my technical skills. And so please, those listening, whether you're listening on Facebook or YouTube, please make sure to let me know if you can hear if you can hear this song. If you can hear, please just give a heart or leave a comment, please. Jesus, yes. Jesus, in your special way. What was impossible, you made possible. Jesus, yes. Jesus, yes. You can all hear me on Facebook. Anyone watching from YouTube, can you please confirm if you can hear the song? Jesus, yeah. You are coming again. Jesus, yeah. In your special way, what was impossible, you make possible. Jesus, yeah. Jesus, yeah. You are coming again. Jesus, yeah. In your special way, what was impossible, you make possible. Jesus, yeah. I almost able. Can someone confirm if they can hear the song? So I stopped the music because I can't get any confirmation if you can actually hear the song. I don't want to be enjoying the song on my own. So I'll just keep on with my key learnings in 2023. The sixth thing I learned in 2023 was to stop being a people pleaser. There comes a time in life when you just have to stop wanting to please everyone, because, as we all know, you can't please everyone in life. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, There will always be people who would find fault with what you do, even if you are the most um, down to earth person, even if you're the most kind hearted person. There will always be people who would find fault um, with what you're doing or what you're saying. So there comes a time when you have to just say, as of now, I just want to live life the way I want to live it, and I'll just give um I'll just take guidance from God and say, going forward, this is the way I want to live my life. Not just want to please people all the time, but want to live a life that you'll be happy with yourself. Because once you realize what are those things that make you happy, then most likely, if you're a principled person, if you're someone who has values, you would not do things to hurt people. At the same time, you won't be dying to please them. And in this point, I'm going to share with you what I thought would be my final point, which was seeking external gratification. Most times we live very unhappy life because we always want people to affirm or to confirm what we are doing. We want people to tell us that what we are doing is right or what we are doing is good. But if you keep living your life seeking people to affirm to you that what you're doing is okay, or because you wear the most expensive clothing, you want people to praise you for that, then you definitely be living a very unhappy life. Seeking external gratification from people has never helped anyone. If you want to be happy, you don't have to wear the most expensive clothes to show out to people so that they can praise you, they can appreciate you, they can say, oh, he wears the latest expensive brands, or she wears the latest expensive brands. And after that, what else? Because when you go back home, you are still that sad person. So seeking external gratification has to stop in 2024. There is no point showing another face of you when you're outside, and then when you come home, you're a very sad person. But when you go out, because people are telling you your shoes are lovely, your hair is lovely, oh, your makeup is beautiful, that's what you want from people because you think it's making you happy. But when those people are not there to praise you or to appreciate you, what happens? So it's time we take a break and reflect and see who we really are from within. Think of our values. Think of those that are looking up to us. Think of the impact we want to make in life rather than waiting for people to tell us that you're looking beautiful. So, if you are one of those people that is always seeking for external gratification, I just want to encourage you that as we move into 2024, you have to rethink, sit down and reflect, have an introspection of what it is, what does it really mean to you? Because from the time that you realize, okay, rather than seeking external gratification, I can do this with my time, then you will be more productive and a much happier person. So yeah, you can't be a one size fits all. You can't want to please everyone all the time. Do what works for you, not what works for the other people. Then another thing that I learned during this year, that it is very important to have self-control. No matter how hard, no matter how bad your relationship with someone has been or your interaction with someone has been, it is the way you react to that person's reaction that determines who you are. What do I mean? If someone does something that really offends me, it is the way I react towards that person that defines me. No matter how bad what he or she did is, but it is the way that I react that will be seen by people. So it's always very important. I learned during this year that it is important to take a break, breathe. You don't have to answer that person at that same time, you can always come back to them and say, this is what you did, which I really did not like. And if they want to apologize, good and fine. If they don't want to apologize, it's still okay. It's still okay if they don't want to apologize. So learning self-control going forward is very important, even with the kids. Like, sometimes my boys know how to tease me. They'll just come and say something because they know that I'm going to be so upset with that, and then they expect that reaction from me. And when they don't get the reaction, sometimes they're surprised. They say, Mommy, why didn't you say this? Mommy, why didn't you do this? So I'm kind of learning through the process at the same time. But it's very important that we realize that self control, if you want to be successful in 2024, self control is very important. Self control is key. So another key learning for me was comparison, and I think comparison still falls under the external gratification point. Looking at what people have, not appreciating them for what they have or who they are, what they are doing, but always trying to think, I should be better than them. I should be doing this, not them. I should. Why is it them and not me? So that comparison doesn't help us go forward. If we want a successful 2024, we have to break comparison. Why not think of cooperating? Why not think of partnering with people? And in that light, I want to invite all the women. This is my empowerment platform. If you think that you have something to offer to all those who listen, who watch my lives, or who follow me on other social media platforms, please make sure to reach out to us, and then we can actually create a session like this where you share your knowledge. We are here to share, we are here to learn, we're here to grow together. So I just want to send this along. Let's all work together rather than comparing with each other. It's only when we work together that we can go far. If I start saying I'm not as good as this person, then I won't be able to do this today. But as much as I see myself not as good as this person, not everyone as well can reach this person, but a few more people can reach me. And maybe those people that can reach me are lacking behind because I am not I am not playing full out loud. I am not coming to give what I have because I feel I'm not enough. So comparing ourselves has to end. We just have to work together. We have to cooperate together. We have to build together. That's why I call this channel Building Bridges. I want us to be able to build bridges, whether we are in Cameroon, we are in Congo, we are in South Africa, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Malawi, the United States, Canada, wherever you find yourself. We want to build that bridge together where we learn and all grow together, where we produce, we work together, we partner. Just imagine if we have 10 people from 10 different countries on this platform, what wealth of knowledge we could get. So it's time for us to stop comparing ourselves and then move on. Think of cooperating. When you collaborate, when you humble yourself, you learn a lot. The ninth thing I learned in 2023 was to accept the things that I can't change. There are certain situations that no matter how much you try, no matter what you do, you may never be able to change those situations. Let me say that again. There are certain situations in life, no matter how hard we try, we might never be able to change them because that has been destined by God to happen that way. So I'm not here saying that we should settle for less than we can actually be, but I am saying that there are certain situations in life that you can't change. So rather than keep dwelling on them, rather than keep focusing on them, it is important to sit down and evaluate those situations. Is it something that I can change? Is there someone that can help me? Or do I just have to let go? Earlier this year, I had a really big breakdown. I suffered burnout, but that was because I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do so many things. I wanted to be everywhere. But then I decided that I need to change certain things because there was still time for me to change. Had it been I kept on doing the same things month in, day out, I may not be here doing this live today, or something else could have happened. But there are just certain events in life that we can't change. We just need to accept. Even sometimes it could be the passing of a loved one. When someone dies, it's a very difficult time, both for the family, for the children, for whoever knew that person. Is it something that we can change as human beings? No, we can't change them. We just need to accept them and move on. The next thing that I learned this year is that life is in seasons. I think I did do a Facebook live on life in seasons, the different seasons of life, because I thought that that was very important at that time, at that point in my own life. Sometimes things are happening in our lives, we just feel like the world is coming to an end. But what we forget is that it's just a season, it's a phase. No matter how hard it is, it will come to pass. No matter how hard it is, it will come to pass. There is a time to sow. When it's time to sow, you have to put in the hard work. You you might need to learn something new. You might need to go back to school. You might need to change positions at your job site. You might need to upskill at work. You might even need to go to a position that is much lower. You might need to start from a position that is much lower than what you actually deserve. But during that time, you're planting, you're learning new things, you're upskilling. Then there is a time when it's time to nourish, when you have to feed what you have sown. Whenever we plant a seed, we need to water it so that it can grow. We need to feed our plants. So feeding yourself is as well learning more, learning more. Who can I bring closer to me to learn from? Who can I draw from? Like when I say draw from, who can I go to as my resource person? You're feeding yourself. Those times may be very hard. Sometimes you might even struggle to pay your rent, you might struggle to pay your bills. But that's because you're in that season where you're planting, you're nourishing, and then comes the harvest season. It's just like when we plant a seed, we have to wait for some time for the seed to germinate and then produce and then start to bear fruits. But when it starts to bear fruits, then comes that time that we have to harvest, when the fruits ripen. So you might be in that season right now where you are actually planting or you're actually sowing. Don't give up, is what I would say. Don't give up. A lot of us find ourselves in that phase. But look at it this way: what are the goals that I have set for myself? What are the things that I want to achieve? What is my mission? What are those things that I want to accomplish? Dr. Marcel, I'm delighted to have you watching me live on Facebook. So, what are those things that you want to accomplish? What are those things that you need to let go? Because in that season of your life, you need to let go. Like you see, when you plant a seed, when it's time to nourish, you need to remove all the weed that is growing beside it. What are those things that you need to shred? That there are certain skills that we would need to shred because we don't need them anymore. I just want to encourage someone. Sometimes we might go through tough times. Times may be very hard. You might be, as we sometimes say, you might be struggling from hand to mouth. But know that it's a phase. As long as you know what your target is, as long as you have an objective, you have a goal, you know what you want to accomplish, and you are slowly feeding that goal. When I say feeding that goal, I mean you are slowly taking action in the right direction. Because when the time to harvest comes, if you didn't plant the right seeds, then you might not have the right harvest. So it's very important that we plant the right seed when we are in the planting season. So these are the few learning learnings I had in 2023 that I wanted to share with you. If anyone watching, whether you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching from, if you have anything to share, any comments, any key takeaways, um, if you want to come on live with me and ask your question or share your own knowledge with our audience, please just indicate in the comments below and I will be able to bring you up, or I can send you the link to join me live. So if there is any key takeaways, please make sure to write them in the comments. If you want to join me live, you want to ask a question, you want to share with the audience what your own key learnings have been, please do let me know, indicate in the comments, then I'll bring you up right away. What are your key takeaways? We have spoken about comparing yourself. We have spoken about wanting to please everyone, about looking at um, about being afraid. We have talked about fear. Fear is not the absence. Courage is not the absence of fear, but it's being afraid and doing it anyway. So sometimes you have to be so scared that you take action, because you need to be in that point in your life where you're so scared of what will happen next that it pushes you to take action. So fear shouldn't paralyze you. Fear should be there to encourage you. You should be you should be motivated by your fear. You should be motivated by your fear. Fear shouldn't paralyze you. And I also spoke about gratitude. It is very important that we remain in that spirit where we are grateful, especially grateful to God, our creator. So many people would have loved to see this day. They are not here. We should be grateful for the food we eat, the air we breathe, the people we have in our lives. And then I spoke about letting go. What are what are those things that you need to let go? There are certain habits that aren't serving you anymore. You have to let go of those habits. There are certain people that you don't need them anymore in your life because they bring you negative energy. They're always discouraging you. They never say anything positive. They spend their time talking about people. You need to let go of those people. You need to also let go by forgiving certain people that have maybe hurt you in one way or the other, and you thought that that was the end of your life. Forgiving them gives you peace of mind because they have done their deed and they have actually moved on, but you're still here very upset and angry with them. So I also mentioned about what are those things that we need to replace, what are those things that we can substitute is very important. At every stage in our life, there is always something that we can change or that we can replace. We can pivot, like we said, or you can find alternatives. So that was me sharing my key learnings for 2023. If you have any question, so for Dr. Marcel, her key word is gratitude, learning to be grateful. And it's very important. Learning to be grateful every day is very important. Grateful for your husband, grateful for your children, no matter how hard life is, no matter if the relationship isn't as perfect as you would have imagined it. Being grateful for where you are and working towards what you want to accomplish is what matters for me here. So if we have no questions, unfortunately, I'm not a very, very tech savvy girl because I really wanted us to dance to some music, but the music won't just cooperate. I'm going to call it off for the day. I hope you did have a few things that you picked up or things that you intend to implement in your life going forward. Avoiding self gratification, external gratification, sorry. I encourage self gratification. We need to be contented human beings. And especially as a woman, if you are not happy with yourself, there is nothing that you will do that will be productive. Because all the time you're always thinking, oh my God, I'm not worthy. I can't do this. People are better than me. But unless you give it a try, you won't know that people are better than you. And the more you keep trying, you get better. The first time I did a live, I don't think it was like this one today. And the more I do this, I'll get better at them. So it's about you owning yourself, trusting yourself, believing in yourself. Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone who joined. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't really appreciate you enough. I don't take your time for granted. I hope you actually really did get some value out of this session. And I'm looking forward to a fruitful 2024. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys um, have a very blessed year ahead. I hope you've had time to reflect because I believe that for me, going through these key learnings was a time of reflection for me. And what can I do better? What can I change? What can I improve? Who can I work with? That's the question that you should constantly ask yourself. So I hope it has been a time of reflection for you as it was for me when I was writing all of these down. And I look forward really to seeing you again. If you missed my session today on goal setting and you want to catch up on that, you can go to I'll actually share the link to the one I did last year. I don't have the one I did today up yet. If you want to catch up on that session, you can actually just click on the link and then go to my YouTube channel and watch that. It was very, very, very rich. And I hope you can get some value out of it. I hope it can help you. If you need any clarity, you have any questions, you want someone who would just be your accountability partner, do not hesitate to reach out. Do not hesitate to reach out anytime, any day. I am always here to serve you. I am always here so that we can work. We can actually work together. We can build um, something together. So that's the link in the comments. I think my network is breaking a little bit, but that's the link. That's the link in the comments. You can actually just click on the link and then you watch the goal setting session. The reason why I'm sharing this session is that it's the end, it's the beginning of the year. We all want to have as much focus as as we want in order to achieve our goals. And if you set the right goals, there's a high chance that you'll be able to accomplish those goals. So go on and watch those that session. And if you have any questions, like I said, always reach out to me. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. I'm looking forward to actually catching up with you again. I hope this session was one of value to you, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.